Tá sconan ord Myles Reilly and ig fish an cheoli and of le go leor de vor cheoltóir na Héireann le héadí Glenn Hansard, Bellex1, Lisa Hannigan, Paul Brady agus go leor eile. Bhúil Imeall leis le léirgus sa áil an meallach a dugann sé faoi scéal na Nárána insint bhealach físiúil.
It's coming faster now. And I never thought I'd be here.
So Myles, thank you for inviting us into your lovely home. What I'd like to know is how you actually got into the current game that you did. Where are the roots of that? Not necessarily 5 or 6 years ago, but you know, when you were a kid. Is this something you've been interested in?
Yeah, hugely interested in photography, because my parents had these old cameras lying around, like they were kind of broken, but when you looked through them, it was a cinema screen. It felt like you were in a huge room when you looked through them, these old retro cameras. As a kid, I'd play with them instead of like Lego bricks. And also music was always around my gaff, so I think when I hit my teens, it was about music and photography. When it got to my 30s, it just clicked all of a sudden when I was made redundant. To go back to my hobby, which is photography, and music being really present in my life, to mix the two was brilliant, and shoot everything like it was 30 beautiful photographs a second.
You obviously have a very heightened awareness of what it is to be present in something, what it is to feel that, and that's very evident in your work. Is it something that's embedded in your personality that comes through your work? Is it something that from your work that feeds into other things? Yeah,
it really does affect me. I see strangers and they all seem to have a soundtrack. I can tell what their favourite song is, and I hear it as they walk past.
What kind of artists have you done work for? Have you made films for?
It's generally just like I film jazz artists and some classical artists, and I just generally film pop artists, and any pop artist for me that's organic and real and puts it out real. The greatest example we've got is probably Glenn Hansard, you know, the travelling busker, the bard that's just built it all up to this busking to the world stage he's at now, and Lisa Hannigan and I think a greatest Irish band would be Bellex1. I just love to shoot stuff that is as real on stage as it is around the kitchen table. On Raglan Road, of an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare that I might one day. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawning of the day. It's like psychedelic train tracks, and the more psychedelic things there are, the less you're focusing on what's going on the screen. I mean, we get it, it's train tracks, but then we start listening to the music. We're still mildly entertained by the visuals, but more the music takes over, and there's any moving moment in there. Your brain will identify certain parts of the songs, certain corners and certain circles in songs. This flag is the shaker. You know, everything has a place. You can invent the place, but as long as there's movement.
most challenging thing you've ever shot? I was watching the Mitchelstown Caves one the other day. I mean, that was probably quite scrambly around the rocks.
You said it. I had to get used to this terrain, this dark, slippy, black, and incredibly quiet venue that any movement I made could be heard by everybody, and I could be seen by everybody. It was awful. It was the most challenging gig of all time. Some of my favourite work has been from the cities I've been to, the most beautiful, exciting cities like New York or Paris. They really hold a lot of emotional weight because when I'm there on my own. I don't really know the bands that well, and I always try and stay detached from them, so it's quite a lonely experience. So I involve myself in the city a lot more. I really enjoyed Julie Feeney in New York and Julie Feeney in Paris, those two. And whenever I watch them back, I almost get teary, you know. They're like my own travel documents.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of taken aback about how simply music can be communicated by a real talent, and what real music is much more apparent and much more effective when it comes from real talent. The music I choose to film and the fact that people go to YouTube now to see music, I hope that I'm an instrument to allow that to happen, to allow people to discover stuff, to discover music.
Is there a time for us?